What's up guys, JtailsTV here with another video, and today I'm going to tell you guys 5 more bad habits that you keep doing that prevent you from winning. And if you haven't seen part 1 of this series, you're missing out on 5 bad habits that you're initially doing that you need to stop doing if you want to win more matches in Smash. So definitely check that one out if you haven't. The link is in the description, and let's get right into it, shall we? So take a look at Falco. What is Falco doing? He's clearly just jumping, right? He's full hopping and not fast falling, just normally falling down without attacking. Now, do you notice anything interesting? Take a look at what happens to Falco as he touches the ground. Right here. At this point in time, Falco cannot use his shield, he cannot throw out an attack, he cannot spot dodge, he can't roll, he can't do anything. This is a universal animation when you touch the ground with any character in the game. And then if Falco wants to jump again, he has to initiate a 3-frame jump squat. Then he's in the air again, right? So you have about 10 frames from the moment that Falco touches the ground, and if he decides to jump again, well, that's on him or not, right? So that's 10 frames, but if he decides to put up his shield, then maybe you have more like 7 or 8 frames, right? But the point is, guys, that whenever anyone's touching the ground, you should be punishing them for it. And I don't see almost anyone even understanding this concept aside from high-level Smash players at tournaments and at majors. Whenever Falco is landing, it's my job to either right before he lands or as he's touching the ground to have a dash attack placed in that area. And there's nothing Falco can do about that. He can't block that dash attack. It's a guaranteed hit. It's just guaranteed damage. Now obviously Falco can fall with a forward air, right? If he really, or a down air. But that's when, you know, you have to use your brain and kind of run up and shield instead, right? And then if he does the down air, then I can just shield grab him, or if I have an out of shield option like dare out of shield, then I can just dare him out of shield and get that punish. But if he doesn't throw out an attack, that's guaranteed with that exact timing. So it's just something for you guys to keep in mind that whenever anyone touches the ground, whether they're attacking or not, I want to say 98% of characters and attacks, you're able to punish them. Doesn't matter if your dash attack's not far. You can use dash attack, you can use a forward tilt, you can use a down tilt, you can use a forward smash. Your timing just has to be good. And I'm not saying this is easy, but I'm saying that this is something that more people need to focus on as a part of the game. And it's something that I do in all my videos. When you watch me fight opponents, I'm definitely punishing them for landing or jumping towards me or just landing in front of me incorrectly. Just as a segue, another way you can punish this is by pivot grabbing. Pivot grabbing allows you to escape from trouble and punish at the same time. So if Falco was approaching me, I'd be able to move out the way of his attack and then punish his attack that he's going to miss because he's hitting the ground, right? So it's important to kind of like get used to dodging and maybe pivot grabbing, or you can dodge an F tilt. So the act of moving to the side is just to avoid the attack that you know is coming, and then as soon as the attack finishes, you punish with forward tilt. So all I'm doing is dashing and then letting go of the analog stick and hitting the C stick in the opposite direction for a dash away F tilt. And then if you want to pivot grab, all I'm doing is dashing in one direction and then hitting the opposite direction and Z simultaneously. And you can avoid attacks as well as punish at the same time. So pivot grabbing is just a really strong tool that I don't see many players using, and it goes hand in hand with punishing landings. And every character can do this stuff, doesn't matter who you're playing as, so definitely keep it in mind. Okay, so what did I just do? What just happened to Snake here? So I'll do it again for you guys. I lost my stock. Now I'm invincible. So if you noticed, Falco, stop shooting me. If you noticed I had invincibility, you are completely invincible on this platform and a little bit off of this platform as well, as long as you're... If you spend more time on the platform, then your invincibility on the stage is going to be less. But if you just get off the platform immediately, you're going to be invincible maybe for, you know, 4 or 5 seconds. Right? So as long as Snake is blinking, he cannot take damage. Now, so many times, I'll see people lose their stock either against me or against somebody else. And instead of pressuring their opponent, they run away. And then they start dash dancing. And it's just a really, really terrible use of an asset that you're being granted. There's very little things that have invincibility in this game. So when you lose your stock, don't squander that opportunity. Go in and try to fight and use that invincibility to your advantage. That's your 1 3 to 4 seconds that you have a chance to be as reckless as you want. And so often I'll see people run away with it and either dash dance or like start camping. And it's like, well, you just wasted an opportunity. You didn't actually develop the situation to turn the tide in your favor. You just kind of squandered it. Definitely using your invincibility is very important. I don't see many people doing that. Interesting positioning. Back throw, forward throw, not gonna KO. Yes! I was waiting for that roll. I was waiting for it. When people get put in the corner, they're, I want to say, 3 times more likely to roll out of the corner. This situation looks familiar, doesn't it? So, whenever players are in the corner, right, meaning your opponent's blocking your path and you don't have a lot of room to run away, right, since the edge is here, I can't run left, my space is quite limited. Jigglypuff is controlling that space. So a lot of players will have a tendency to roll, right, because they're scared and they don't want to be in the corner. They don't want to be pressured in this situation. So rolling out of the corner always seems like the logical answer. But good players are going to understand the situation and they're going to just wait for you to roll. That's how you roll into rest. That's how you roll into Ganondorf's Doria, and he's charging it up just waiting for you. Not many options out of the corner aside from playing in a way that you don't put yourself in the corner. You should always be trying to hold the center of the stage. That's the general goal of the game, and that's what stage control is all about. But obviously, you know, it can't be helped. Sometimes you're going to get pushed to the edge and you're just in a scenario where you have to make a decision. Now, rolling out of the corner is a very, very beginner decision, and a lot of high-level players can capitalize on that. So what can you do instead? I think the key thing here is not to panic. You'll be surprised that when you kind of calm down and realize that, you know, you're fighting another human being just like you can really turn the tides of battle, right? So maybe you want to stand here and shield, and if Jigglypuff grabs me, so what? It's better than getting rested, right? If I get forward thrown off stage, I can avoid that. I can avoid the off stage gameplay. But if I roll, I'm getting rested. Like, I can't, once I input the roll, I can't change my fate. And that's the thing, you don't want to commit to big options when you're in disadvantage. So one thing you can do, you can fight your way out of the corner, you can hold shield and try to, you know, see if they're gonna attack or grab you. If they attack you, then you get to roll, or you can jump out of your shield and escape, right? Don't forget that you can jump out of your shield. You don't always have to roll. You just press jump while you're shielding. Obviously Luigi's mobility isn't great, But, you know, you can still mix things up and try to get around your opponent. You can double jump and try to land in the center, or, you know, really just try to mix things up. There's a lot of different options that you can try. Obviously, this is a very similar commitment, but it looks different. So, all in all, just don't panic and roll out of the corner first thing, because it can get you into big trouble. But consider, you know, running up and grabbing, or choosing an offensive option out of the corner. Sometimes opponents won't expect that. Try maybe double forward air, right? There's a lot of little things that you can do. I'm not saying it's an easy position to be in. It's the corner for a reason, and it sucks for a reason. But a lot of good players will just wait for that roll and then KO you. So stop rolling from the corner. It gets predictable, and don't panic. Try to figure out other responses that you could possibly do out of the corner, and take your time. Take your time. As long as your opponent cannot KO you and their grab doesn't KO, shield is probably one of the best options you can choose. So what's happening here? Seems like I'm missing my attack, right? And obviously Donkey Kong is jumping consistently. I'm trying to demonstrate a specific concept. This is something called projecting that is very, very important for playing Smash. And playing, you know, anything, any sport, any physical activity, any fighting game, any shooter. You have to understand that your job is not to attack where your opponent is. Your job is to attack where your opponent is going to be. Because guess what? Humans have, you know, we don't have instant reaction time. Our reaction time is close to maybe 13 frames. That's like the benchmark, so to speak. And, you know, there's lag, there's input delay. Our eyes can deceive us. So if I'm trying to hit this Donkey Kong and I'm swinging where I see him right now, by the time I jump and swing, he's gonna be on the ground. See, so by the time my eyes tell my brain, now is the time to attack, I can't attack that position anymore because gravity is acting upon him. So he's going to fall. By the time my eyes tell my brain and my brain tells my hands, swing at Donkey Kong, he's gonna be on the ground. So obviously this is a bad illustration because I'm in training mode, but I'm just trying to demonstrate something that I see far too often when people send me VODs to review. You guys, you know, I offer a service for $15 if you want to send in your Smash replays from tournaments or playing with friends and you want some critiques. Consider sending me, you know, some replays. Send me an email at JtailsTV@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to review some VODs with you. One of the biggest critiques that I usually have is people are often swinging too late or too early. And this is because of a matter of understanding what projection is and where people are going to move, right? So we know DK, let's pretend he doesn't have a double jump. We know he's going to fall, and we know he doesn't have any other options to prevent himself from getting hit aside from air dodge. So we know that once we react, we can start attacking the ground. But like I said, this is a very, very basic interpretation of it. So I see DK above me, I know he's going to come down, I get to punish the landing. You're almost making it easier on yourself too, and you don't have to react so insanely well, as long as you can predict better. So I think that people, you know, really, they like to say that, oh man, JTails, I don't have really good reaction time. Can I ever be good at Smash? And the answer is yes. You don't actually need great reaction time to be great at Smash. What you need is great understanding and the great ability to read and understand situations. And I think that through that, it mitigates reaction time. Obviously having reaction time helps, but it's not the be-all end-all. I think this is a more valuable trait. The takeaway from it is don't attack where your opponent is, because by the time you tell your hands to swing, it's already going to be too late. And this is just something that you need to keep in mind for Smash as a whole. You can't always swing where your opponent is. If someone's falling, think in 1 or 2 seconds later, they're going to descend quite a bit. So you want to swing low and not double jump and hit them where they currently are. You're going to miss. what did I do wrong there? And this is something that I see quite often. A lot of people will burn their double jump off stage and swing onto the stage. Now, keep in mind that when you are off stage, you are at a disadvantage. This doesn't mean that you should be trying to fight. I'm not saying never push buttons, and you know, I'm not saying never contest your opponent when you need to. Like, obviously pros do this, I do this, it's important. But online, I'll see 100% of the time, like Ness, even Roy players, Ganondorfs, doesn't matter who it is. I hit them off stage, they have a double jump that they can use to recover, but instead of choosing to recover with it, they choose to be aggressive with it. So, they'll double jump fair, and I'll just forward smash the Ness. Guess what? Ness doesn't have a jump now. Ness is off stage, and he just quite can't reach the ledge. So, when you burn your double jump, that's a huge risk. I feel like people don't fully understand how much of a risk it actually is. So it's just like in our previous video talking about double jumping too early after getting hit. One thing that people love to do, especially Ness players, is double jump and like try to fair here. And good players are going to just avoid that fair and then swat you away. And now you don't have a jump and you can't reach. So granted, obviously I'm reaching here, but a good Lucina would just like run off and counter. And you don't have a jump, so you can't mix anything up. But the point is, guys, you want to be very, very careful with swinging from off stage onto the stage. This is a really, really bad habit to do, and you can just lose your life because of it, just because like you don't have a double jump. So how are you going to recover now, right? And I see so many players kind of disregarding that fact. So I'm just like, okay, forward smash, okay, jump over the attack and falling back air. Like, it's just a huge risk, and I think it just needs to be taken better care of, honestly. Just go to the ledge. You're invincible when you grab the ledge, and I feel like not many people really value that invincibility. Yes, it sucks to be on the ledge, but that's part of the game. You trying to force your way onto the stage and bypass you know, a segment of the game because it's uncomfortable is not going to give you better results. So for those of you who are more serious about improving and even competing, I think these are important topics that I've covered. The ledge trap game is a very important part of Smash that all the pros have to succumb to, and it becomes a guessing game. But so let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd greatly appreciate that, and consider subscribing to the channel if you found this video informative and helpful. Let me know what topics you want me to cover next on the next video, and thank you all so much for watching. I will see you all next time.